How did it feel after being out so long and coming back and having a game like this, especially in that second quarter where you made every shot?
Oh, just happy, man. It's what I love to do. I was just happy to be out there playing with joy. Obviously happy that we got a win. Felt like they were hitting every shot, but we got it in the end. Just really happy to be back.
Was there anything you noticed while you were out that you figured that you could take advantage of when you come back and join the group while everybody's kind of clicking on all cylinders?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously think the pace was great. They were playing amazing, so just trying to adapt to that. But I mean, they were playing amazing. They beat some tough teams, and I was just happy to sit and watch and enjoy.
How the Dallas Mavericks have become one of the hottest teams in the NBA with a stretch without Luka Doncic. Kevin Gray here on Kevin Gray Sports. Really appreciate you joining me here. Of course, I'm your host on the DLLS Mavs podcast on DLLS Sports. You can find me on X at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe while you're here as well. The Dallas Mavericks are on a torrid run right now, winning 8 of their last 9 games. Currently on a 4-game winning streak as Luka Doncic and company beat the Portland Trail Blazers on Sunday, where Luka Doncic returned after missing 5 games with a wrist injury to drop 36 points in 36 minutes. Quentin Grimes with a season-high 28 points. The Mavericks with 6 guys in double figures. They are playing fantastic basketball right now after what was a slow 5-7 start. And for this team, that's number 5 in offensive rating, number 7 in defensive rating, top 5 in both three-point percentage and field goal percentage, one of the best teams in overall net rating and plus-minus as well. The Mavericks have turned things around for what was a terrible 4-game losing streak when they lost on November 14th to the Utah Jazz, where Luka Doncic, of course, fell asleep. John Collins got the bucket to win the game for Utah, and all hell was breaking loose for the Mavericks and what the hell was going on with them as a team. But since then, they've gotten healthy and things have turned around quite nicely. Luka Doncic, in his absence, the Mavericks have gone 5-1 in games where he hasn't played this year, with wins against teams like the Denver Nuggets, teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, and others. The Mavericks are not only beating good teams nowadays, but they're also beating up on bad teams as well, where the Mavericks are 7-2 this season against teams with a record below 500. Quentin Grimes has scored at least 21 points in each of his last 3 games, topping off with that 28 that I mentioned against Portland. Naji Marshall, who missed the game due to illness against Portland, he's been fantastic. He's got at least 20 points in 4 of the last 5 games that he's played. PJ Washington has been a double-double machine for this team this year. He's got 6 of them in his last 8 games, including a streak that included 5 straight double-doubles. Spencer Dinwiddie, yes, the much-maligned Spencer Dinwiddie, has been really good from a playmaking standpoint. He's got 36 assists over his last 9 games with a near 7-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. So the Mavericks are getting contributions from everyone on this team that's allowed them to become one of the best teams in the NBA over these last 9 games. They're also number 1 in the league right now over this 9-game stretch in points per game. So they're shooting the ball well from 3. They're getting great contributions from their role players. And Kyrie Irving, who's averaging nearly 25 points per game, is playing at an all-star-like level. And after what was a 5-7 start that included a 4-game losing streak, this team is playing to their capability and their potential. And one of the things that excites me most going forward for the Mavericks is that guys have had to learn and get comfortable with their roles, play in high-pressure situations to be able to deliver wins, and that should bode well going forward for the rest of the year with hopeful continued health for this team. Luka Doncic is getting a first look and window into what hopefully this team will continue to be now that he's back on the floor, talking about adapting to this play style that the Mavericks have had where they've been able to pick up pace, be able to get out in transition, but most importantly, knock down shots. And if this is the kind of team that we're going to see from Dallas for the rest of the year, where right now they're 13-8 and 5th in the Western Conference, steadily climbing up the Western Conference standings, they are one of the more dangerous teams in the entire association, which is saying something because, of course, the Mavericks went to the NBA Finals last year with a terrific second-half run. But the way that they are playing as of late, they are understanding how to win in moments and channeling the experiences that they had from that NBA Finals run to be able to play with a steady and a calmness befitting of their head coach, Jason Kidd, who, yes, is maligned at times for some of the decision-making that he has had throughout the early portion of the year. But at the same time, one thing that you can say about Kidd is that he never gets too high, he never gets too low, and his team has taken on his personality, and you've seen how this played out over the last 9 games. It has been fun to watch this team be able to deal with adversity, overcome it, and then be able to get on the floor and show what they're capable of. Naji Marshall has been a godsend for this team. A devastating floater package, is a legitimate candidate for most improved player for the first quarter of the season. If you had told me, Kevin, that this team was going to start 5-7, have a 4-game losing streak in the middle of that, but by the time you got to 21 games into the year, they would be 5th in the West and 5 games above 500, I would take that. And that's exactly where they are. A team that's in the stretch of playing 4 or 5 games on the road, has continued to play well on the road. They're 4-1 on the second night of back-to-backs as well, sweeping the back-to-back on the road that they had against the Utah Jazz and the Portland Trail Blazers. Character wins for a team that was able to do it for the most part without their superstar. And now that Luka Doncic is healthy, you saw the indications of what he was able to do from a scoring and a shooting standpoint. Went 15-24, had the 36 points, did it with efficiency, also had 13 assists to go along with the 7 rebounds. If this is the Doncic that we're finally going to get for the remainder of the season, watch out. Because this Mavericks team, led by that superstar, is capable of beating any team in this league. And when he is healthy and when his legs are under him, he's arguably the best player in the association. Hell, he's been a 5-time first-team All-NBA selection each of the last 5 years. So you know what he's capable of. And with his all-star teammate and Kyrie Irving playing at this kind of level as well, plus the contributions you're getting from Daniel Gafford, is one of the league leaders in field goal percentage. Obviously, when Derek Lively comes back from the hyperextended knee that he's dealing with, this team, once they are fully healthy, are able to go into play with the consistency and continuity that they'll need to in order to challenge teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder. Houston Rockets are playing well as well so far during the early portion of the year. The Memphis Grizzlies are on a really nice winning streak themselves. This is a group that is going to continue to play well, and if they do so, they have a chance to make some real noise once again in the Western Conference playoff picture. But it has been fun to watch this team get off to that slow start. Well, actually, it wasn't fun watching it get off to a slow start. What has been fun is them overcoming that slow start and finding a way to win games, whether it's shooting the lights out against the Portland Trail Blazers, getting timely shot making when they needed it against the Denver Nuggets, making plays against the Oklahoma City Thunder where P.J. Washington went bananas with 27 points and 17 rebounds. Quentin Grimes coming into his own as well after that DMP against Denver. He has turned into a real player for this team and is going to be making himself a lot of money by the time we get to the end of this regular season. Whomever you want to pick, whichever player you want to choose, whatever group of players that you want to pick, all of them have had to contribute to help this team get exactly where they believe they should go. And if that is the case, the Mavericks are going to be a team that you and I have to continue to talk about, and that the national folks are going to have to continue to talk about as well, because they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Already with a track record from last year of getting to the NBA Finals, it finally feels like they're finding their footing that they need to in order to consistently beat teams night in and night out. And if so, look out, because the Mavericks are definitely on their way. We will see how they continue to perform as they get healthy as this season progresses. But right now, they are playing and acting like one of the best teams in the entire association. And that, my friends, is pretty damn cool given the adversity that they've overcome. And they're only getting started as we're just a quarter of the way through the season. A long season to go. And the Mavericks are exactly where they need to be after 21 games. And things are looking upward for Dallas. You can find me on X at Kevin Gray Sports. But again, be sure to download and subscribe to our DLLS Mavs podcast, wherever you get your podcasts free. You can catch me 5 times a week. Of course, pregame, postgame shows for the DLLS Mavs podcast on DLLS Sports. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. And you can check me out on X at the same at Kevin Gray Sports. Appreciate you joining me here on Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
Today's video is sponsored by Aura.
This year has seen a number of high-profile data breaches, raising serious concerns about personal information security. Dell suffered a breach exposing 3.9 million customer records, including sensitive personal information. AT&T disclosed 2 breaches, one affecting approximately 2.5 million customers and another one impacting 9 million customers. And finally, Ticketmaster experienced a massive customer breach affecting over 560 million customer records. But most alarming of all, just a few months ago, National Public Data announced that they had suffered a major breach potentially affecting every American. The incident compromised over 2.9 billion records used for background checks, including critical personal information such as full names, addresses, date of birth, phone numbers, and most importantly, social security numbers. It has been confirmed the members of the hacker group have released this sensitive information online for free. If you haven't been taking your online personal information seriously, now is the time to change that. You're more vulnerable than ever in today's digital landscape. Thankfully, I feel secure because I use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to alert you about potential identity theft. They also provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance in case the worst ever happens. Plus, Aura offers a variety of other features to keep you safe online, including real-time alerts for data breaches, a VPN for secure browsing, data broker opt-out to stop companies from selling your personal information, a password manager to help you create and store strong passwords. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/Kevin Gray to try 2 weeks for free. That will be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed.